Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Inside the Red Zone Leadership Discussion, episode number 1. My name is Dean Packard, principal of Charlton Middle School in Charlton, Massachusetts, and co-founder of Unlock the Middle. Alongside with me, I have my good friend and colleague, Chris Starcheski, in a band of brotherhood, so they say, in the world of leadership. And we are excited tonight to discuss and go off in a different angle and talk about leadership from our lens. Gentlemen, first and foremost, welcome to the table. Glad that you're here. And more importantly, let's get to know you a little bit and let's roll up our sleeves and have a little bit of fun tonight. Chris, kick it over to you.
Yeah, hey everybody, Chris Starcheski, principal at Dudley Middle School here. As Dean mentioned, we're working together with Unlock the Middle. We've got a pretty robust library of PD-oriented video library talks that we've been doing for the last year and a half. And now we're coming back and we're looking to get down and dirty and talk about the trenches of leadership with leaders all around the country. It's a great opportunity to connect, confirm beliefs, and also commiserate with some, I guess, in some cases, war stories.
I don't know if I like that word commiserate, because you know what? We're always upbeat and positive and selling our story. So with that being said, Chris, kick it down to Josh. Josh, good to see you again, man. Staple on Sunday night. Welcome back. And then we're going to go around the horn and introduce everybody else we have with us.
Hello, everybody. Josh Todd, proud principal of Memorial Pathway Academy, home of the Jaguars, mighty Jaguars. Here, making sure that we're all working together. And you know what? Sometimes we need that little last play, that up the whole A-gap dive. And you know how we do that? To score that touchdown, we need a lot of people on the sideline coaching us along the way to that touchdown for kids. So come and join us every Thursday, 30 minutes. Let us know your feedback. Like us, share us, and also, most importantly, give us your feedback, because you know what? We're only stronger together. Take it away, Sean.
Hey, everybody. This is Sean Gaylord here. Thanks for inviting me. I'm here in the Red Zone, and I am the proud principal of Moore Magnet Elementary School in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, a town so nice they named it twice. We are in the middle of some snow and some ice, and I'm just happy to be here with some compadres, and I look forward to learning and connecting with all here. So thank you all so much.
Awesome. Martin.
Hey, guys and listeners. I am Marty Silverman. I'm principal, and I guess I'm also the proud principal of Salinas Elementary School in beautiful San Antonio, Texas, a Brooklyn boy here in Texas, enjoying 30-degree weather, because you just never know what you're going to get every day.
I love that story. I got to figure out why you moved from New York to Texas, but I bet the weather had something to do with it, I'm sure. And your good friend Todd, just above you right now. Todd, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you guys for letting me be here. My name is Todd Bloomer, and I am also the proud principal of a great school here in San Antonio, Texas, Winston Churchill High School in San Antonio, Texas, home of the Churchill Chargers. Also a New Yorker. I grew up in upstate New York. Moved to Houston and then ended up here in San Antonio. So I'm excited to be here. Looking forward to learning from y'all and looking forward to a good 30 minutes. So thanks for having me.
You got it, man. Welcome to all you guys. And, from our leadership lens, every day, we have common denominators across the board, whether it's teachers, students, whether it's learning communities, whether it's struggles or anything that we have to do. And the greatest thing about the internet and this ability for a video platform is the world becomes a smaller place because we can discuss topics and can become better. So, hey, throw one out in the middle right now. Let's talk about our day. How was your day today, Josh? Let's start off with you. Some of the things you came across. What are some things that are on your mind, and what would you like to throw out to the group here?
One of the things, from being a former Marine, one of the reasons I didn't do 20 years was because of the cold weather duty. And doing bus duty today in Texas, sorry, New England, Texas 30 degrees is cold. It's frigid, all right? And that's why I did not at all do 20 years in the Marine Corps digging holes in the winter. But it prepared me for doing bus duty. And, that's one of the things that us as administrators who sit in our chair have to do, not only with the duty, but everything that has to do with the actual building and the kids being ill. So today, for myself, our building is very old. And what happens? One room is hot, one room is cold. Not only that, but you got kids with 2 jackets on top of each other. So those are the kind of adversity. And by the time that you get our district personnel to come and help our homes, they have to help all the other homes, and you still got to maintain a learning environment for the kids that it's comfortable, but it's not comfortable if they see their breaths in their classroom. So how do you guys deal with that?
Well, first of all, we're in shorts in 30-degree weather. We're enjoying that like a summertime blast. Okay. So I'm sorry to hear that down in Texas. A quick shout out from Jeff Springer here over to Marty. Marty, that's one of your guys.
That is one of my guys. Jeff is one of my co-hosts on the Texan Connection podcast. We are 3 administrators here in the state of Texas, San Antonio, Houston, and Fort Worth represented, talking over all the issues and solving all the problems. And Jeff is one leg of that 3-legged stool. Couldn't do it without him. Great guy.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for joining us, Jeff. And we're still kicking around this shorts and bus duty in 30-degree weather down in the southern part of this country. Come on, man. That's we welcome that. How about you over there, Sean? You down in the Carolinas?
Well, there are no shorts involved in 30-degree weather. That does not. That's just not going to happen. But this week we've had snow days. I've not been in the schoolhouse, or we haven't had kids in the schoolhouse at all this week. But it's been nice to kind of recharge and refresh, and then also to catch up on some things and follow up with folks, and make sure our building is still standing. I was able to get out and check the building out and connect with our assistant principal and our lead custodian and just kind of make sure things are safe and as safe for kids and ready for kids when they come back. I mean, part of our gig as leaders is the not just wearing shorts in 30-degree weather, but the ability to wear many hats. And I think this year, and that's an oft-used phrase, right? We've all been to principal school, and we're told that. And this year, and in the last couple of years, it's like we're wearing many hats, but it's like new kinds of hats that we didn't know existed, from contact tracing to to COVID expert and all those things. So I think. If anything, this week and this year, for me, the word and taking a page from Josh's book, it's agility, and being able to wear those many hats and roll with those punches and roll with the varying things that we have to face and learn and be open to learning.
Yeah, agreed. Todd, kick it over to you.
Well, Marty and I both had a snow day today. We didn't have school.
I'm still blown away by the snow day in Texas. I'm sorry. I don't know we're going to package one up and send it down to Texas. Then you're going to know what a snow day is.
Well, I'll tell you what, and Marty can attest to it, but last year we had a week off of school because we had awful ice and snow, and we lost power. I mean, our grid went down and people lost power for days. It was awful. It was really miserable. It was cold today. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I grew up off of Lake Ontario, and it was cold is cold, and today was cold, but the ice and the sleet never showed. I went up to school this morning and checked out campus, make sure it was okay, make sure no kids had showed up today, and made sure the building was safe and the pipes were taken care of. As Sean kind of brought up, though, this year's been like no other year I've ever experienced before. I tell people all the time, being a principal in COVID is like dog years. You get 7 years of credit for 1 year. Cat, how the cat's got 1 year or 7 years old or something like that. It's just been, each day is just something new. I think Chris, you mentioned you had 14 subs out or teachers out one day, and last Friday, a week ago Friday, we had 50 out, and it was we had 21 or 2 that were uncovered. I've taught 10 classes at a high school, not well, but 10 classes since we've been back since break. And so really looking each day to see, how many folks are out, legitimate reasons, COVID, family COVID, I mean, legitimate reasons that are out. And then how do we ensure kids still get maximum instruction? How do we make sure kids are safe? And how do we make sure that we can provide a learning environment in this difficult situation? So it makes it very challenging, but with the challenge comes great opportunity. And I've been able to utilize covering these classes to build relationships with kids. We're not. I taught an art class the other day, and we didn't do anything art wise. We just talked about what makes a good student, what makes a good teacher, an assistant principal, what makes a good principal. The feedback's been epic. I mean, it's been, you ask for it, high school kid will tell you, so you got to be careful of that. But it's been great. I mean, I've been able to build some great relationships, and I think teachers appreciate it. I think parents appreciate it. I know I enjoy it, so I don't mind, stepping in and doing that for, to help the good cause. And so, just different year. I'm at a dream school, so I can't complain. So just a different year.
I'm glad you said that. And I just want to toss something out there to all of you. And I've been in leadership now for 20 years. And I always kind of redefine what that means to me. And COVID and this pandemic has really shaped a new vision of what we do and how we do it. Not only are we positive and try to stay positive all the time, we try to lead by example. We try to be available. We try to be visible. We try to be everywhere. And we try to be able to help everyone. So if I just took that term leadership and where you're at now compared to where you were pre-pandemic, talk about what that looks like now through your lens. I mean, as leaders, as principals, we got to define that. We got to live it. We got to breathe it. We got to lead it. So, Chris, let's kick it over to you first.
Yeah, the biggest piece that I've been focusing on is stability and, really modeling. I'm a positive guy by nature, and the term toxic positivity was thrown around a while back. We all heard that, and it's about unrealistic expectations around, individuals, their wellness and their approach to their job. I think that's the toxic positivity, unrealistic, expectations about, folks being real. But in terms of being real, we're going to have our tough days, but the job is the job. The goal is to give the kids what they need and to assure the teachers that you've got their back, as we sit down, and Todd, you mentioned, teachers who are out, staff who are out for legitimate reasons. I think there's nary a day go by that any staff member who's out doesn't have a legitimate reason. And it might feel like something that in previous years might have been not a catalyst to be out. But, you have that one behavioral incident in the classroom or in the hallway that you interact with, and that pushes you over the edge because you've got a plate that's overflowing, and the teacher just needs to take that time. And, we're left with the responsibility of reassuring the teacher that it'll be okay, handle the issue with the kid, make sure that that's not going to be a repeat, and then provide the environment for the teacher to regain their confidence or their stability. And that's been perhaps the biggest lesson in leadership over these last 2 years, is that focus on, that stability and the modeling when the going gets tough, and I'm very calm in a crisis. I'm usually pretty even keeled as I go in, but these past 2 years, it's been, gosh, tell me a little bit more about what you need, what you're feeling, what you're thinking. How can I really help you? You're saying you don't need anything, but you came into the office to talk. So there's a little bit more to the story here. Those probing questions, those elements to really get at, the root of the need. And, that for me has been a significant focus over these past however many months.
You kick that down to Martin. You're up.
Yeah, first of all, Dean, I have to tell you, 20 years in leadership, it's nice to talk to a newbie. This is year 39 overall and 32 in school leadership. So
nice.
So it's
congratulations,
nice
I should say. Well
done.
Thank
you. It's nice to see a rookie, kind of getting it going as well. One of the things. So working in an elementary school. It occurred to me just this week that we have 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old kids up to, 5th grade. And those 3, 4, 5, 6-year-olds, 2/3 to a half, to a third of their life has been pandemic life. Mm-hmm. They don't know another life even, right. And so we're dealing with, when we are surprised by some of the behavior, some of the inability to interact, appropriately. It's not from kids not knowing the right thing to do. It's from kids not having had the opportunity to live in a world when you're that age, where you've had the opportunity to know what we call normal life. They've never had normal life, or for most of their life. For some of them, they've been in a pandemic, so it's had to cause us to relearn a lot of things about going back to basic, um, explicit teaching of this is how you interact with another person.
Mm-hmm.
Sean?
I've seen the same thing at high school. If I can jump in there, I mean, I've seen
Jump in.
the same thing at high school. The kiddos that are freshmen now, they were in sixth grade the last time they had normal school, and so that transition from 8 to 9 has always been a big transition. A lot more freedoms. And now the kiddos really didn't get a middle school experience, and so that's been a challenge for our leadership team. On how do we provide, how do we teach kids how to be a high school student, and what model what's acceptable, and so that's been a challenge at high school, just all through the fall. We've really made a turn. I think we've made a turn on the campus, but it really took till Thanksgiving till really we had some structures and some normalcy in place, I think, at a high school campus. And I have 2,700 kids on the campus. High school's got, it's a large high school.
Yep. Sean, what about the elementary? What at the littles?
Well, very similar to what everyone has been saying, and it's like our concept of time and expectation and how we define and establish paradigms, it's out the window, and I think kind of just to echo what you all have said is being empathetic and being in tune not only with our core but also trying to be in tune with the core of others. I think our gig as leaders, or at least I believe, is not necessarily for folks to follow me, but I want to create and nurture and steward more leaders. And these last 2 years has really challenged me to really tune into the gifts of others in very unexpected ways.
Sean, give some examples of that. And I think that's huge. As I'm a greenhorn in this business right now, only after 20 years. So after I heard about Martin's journey, but at the end of the day, we're constantly trying to look for other people to pass a torch to. We're constantly trying to plant those seeds. I love that you said that.
Thank you. And I think Martin in dog years, is that 224?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, that dog has long gone. That dog.
Lassie, come home.
Wisdom.
Lassie's not coming home.
Come on, man. Real quick, Dean, I would say just a very quick example, and we've all had to kind of like, one of the hats that we wear is like, I call it Shawnee's staffing service, where I've got to like find a sub and cajole people and figure that out. Well, last year, I'm really proud of our team, and I'm proud of our faculty, and I'm proud of our kids. I continue to just be in awe of them. But real quickly, I had 2 teacher assistants last year who covered classes and did some things, and one thing led to another, and now they are regular classroom teachers working on their certification. And so being able to see TAs for, like outside their comfort zone, so to speak, and demonstrate instructional leadership. I'm like, my gosh, have you thought about teaching? Have you thought about the gigs? So I was able to Jerry Maguire, things like that, but that's kind of a quick example. But there's just so many, and I think and the thing about toxic positivity, I that's tough too, and that's real, and we have to acknowledge what's out there and what people are feeling. I do feel that I think our call now as leaders is belief, getting a little Ted Lasso here on everybody. But yeah, we have tough days and challenging days and days where we're like, man, why am I here? And what happened? But I think if we tune into that belief, I think that's the gig right now is putting that, like, we can do this. We're going to get through this. We're doing the impossible. We're transforming the impossible into something possible. So belief, I think, is something I have a great appreciation for in the last couple of years with everything that's been going on.
Oh, you're driving the train. You're facilitator. Hey, take a look here what Laura Max Watson Austin said here, and just a middle school principal from rural North Carolina here.
Nice.
What's your push for the semester? Rank the 2 or 3 for your school. Who wants to jump on that? The push. Anybody here?
Oh, I got one. I got
Go
two.
for it, Martin.
Laura, I just have to tell you. So number one is this year has been, what I would call slippery. Every time you are ready to start something, you feel like, oh no, we can't start that because blank. We have, attendance issues because COVID. We have all the teachers out, all the, people quitting, those kinds of things. And so for this spring semester, number one is definitely getting some footing on some things that should have started earlier, but have not been able to start. I'm just going to give you that one because I know we got a lot of people here.
Go ahead, Todd, grab one.
Student involvement, key to success at a large middle school, elementary school, I'd imagine, but definitely high school is involvement. Whether it be football or band or the chess club or anything in between. I would say, an involved student is a happy student. They come to school. They got another set of adult eyes on them. We push involvement at our campus, and I think that would be one of my things I would continue to push if I was a middle school principal.
Josh Tovar.
Maintain stability in a slippery world. And that is difficult because you can't feed anybody if you don't catch that fish. And in Texas, our commissioner said we will be getting letter grades every school based on our EOC, our STAR scores, our state mandated tests. It doesn't matter with the absences, teachers leaving, doesn't matter. Schools in Texas will be rated with a letter A through F. So stability is crucial for somebody that sits in our chair.
Sean.
I would say, and Laura, we may be neighbors. I'd love to know what part of North Carolina you're in. We may be at the food line together one day. I would say well-being of our staff and our students. That's been a very big push for us, and making sure that folks are feeling safe. Taking a page literally from Julie Hassan's latest book, but making sure that everyone is feeling safe, seen, and stretched. But that well-being piece has been really key for us.
Love it. Chris.
Yeah, I'd echo everything that I've heard so far as really key targeted priorities. I think one of the biggest pieces for us is really increasing student agency and ownership of their learning. These last, the initial push into remote learning really set some students back in terms of being involved in and understanding their learning goals and what their real learning outcomes could be. So really focusing in on giving specific feedback and direction to help kids understand that the pieces of the puzzle that they're putting together now are really going to build a beautiful picture later on in high school and beyond. And it's been difficult to get them to transition into that ownership element of the learning. So really, working with teachers to provide really effective feedback mechanisms individually to get the kids to move forward and understand that the teachers are there to support them while at the same time being realistic about giving them guidance. And sometimes the guidance is about a need for significant improvement. And, that can be a sting if you're not used to receiving it. So really increasing that student agency and autonomy for their learning.
Yeah. And, and I'm looking at it after hearing all you guys, and I'm looking at just the word empowerment. My job is to empower everybody around me. I want to make sure that I'm feeding the fuel for you to be the best you can possibly be. And I say that every morning at our morning announcements. You have one shot to be the best you. Make it a good one. Effort and attitude will drive the way for you. And I don't care if you're a student or a teacher, an administrator, it's all on how you carry yourself, and it's all on how you present during the moment that makes the difference in any school. So I love all that stuff. Hey, toss out something about your school that you really like, something that you're really proud of. And let's start off with Todd. Todd, something that really, that culture, that learning environment in your school it's just buzzing. What is it?
I live a mile down the road from my campus. My children attend there. My youngest two are twins that are juniors. And so when I talk about our campus being a family, it truly is a family. That I think gives me a lot of credibility as a leader. As far as, my grocery store is your grocery store, my church is your church.
Mm-hmm.
When you see me slowly jogging on the path and you cheer me on or laugh at me or honk your horn and give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Kids in my neighborhood, when I go to the mailbox, people say hi to me. And so I really think one of the things I'm really, really proud of is when you come to my campus and you're shopping schools and you're looking for where you're going to bring your kid, I can speak from many different lenses. I can talk academics. I can also talk as a parent. And I can talk about how this place is my dream job. And I can share that. And so it's not cliche. It's true. And I don't have to manufacture any of the excitement to be on my campus because each thing I do to help improve my school helps improve my community, my neighbors, the people I live around. And so really, school pride and being a family, and we're big, 185 or so staff members on the campus, 2,700 kids. I school management by wandering around. I don't know all the kids' names, but I like them to think I do. And that's kind of the philosophy.
2,700, man. I was going to say that's pretty good.
No doubt. And we're dreading our soccer game tomorrow night in South Texas with temperatures in the 30s and stuff. But you got to be out there. You got to support the kids, and they got to know you care. And when they do, then they'll do a lot of things for you. It's not rocket science to be a leader, really, with a lot of the interpersonal skills that you need.
Connectivity leads the way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I love it. Martin.
I have been fortunate to have landed in what I'll consider the best elementary school in our city. And the reason that is, and everybody has to say that about their school, but I will tell you that I hear stories, I read educational Twitter, I see things that are going on around me in my district, in my city, in the country. And because we can be real with each other and allow ourselves to be frustrated when we're frustrated, I'm talking about the adults and the kids, we are able to maneuver through some of these terrible situations that happen, and they become not insurmountable. They become surmountable because when we have our days of 15 people out and 3 subs, and people say to me, I got that, I'll cover that, I'll do that, I'll do duty, I'll take care of that, I'll do that. It's not because I'm telling them, hey, you go there, you go there, you go there. They my people see a need and they take care of it. And our kids notice that, because what our kids do is, I've heard numerous times this year with new kids, we are right across the highway from an Air Force base, so we get lots of turnaround of kids, and kids will come in and they'll start acting ridiculous. And I've heard our kids say, we don't do that here. That's not how it's done. You don't do that here. This is not the place for that. So we have our sense of place. Hashtag Rangerland, where the Salinas Rangers, hashtag Rangerland. You see it all over the place at our school. And it's become, my marquee says, you belong here.
Love that.
That's great.
John, take it. Love
man, it. Marty, I want to be a student in your school, man. I all y'all schools. I'm sitting here like I feel like I'm at a jazz nightclub circa 1962, and I'm watching Miles Davis and Coltrane and Elvin Jones and Brubeck, and you guys are just, seriously, I'm like gobsmacked right now. You guys are just such gifts to the schoolhouse and leadership. So I don't even know what to add, but I'll say I'm proud of you guys, but I'm also extremely proud of our staff, their dedication, ditto to what everybody said, all those things I've seen, but our staff is just so dedicated with everything. It's and the expression I'll get is like, well, that's what we do for family. That's what I do for my sister. That's what I do for my brother. Of course I'm going to cover that. Yeah, it's hard. I got you. I got your back, and you feel that. You just feel that sense of connection and support. And I'm really proud of that for our staff and for our kids. Our teachers get to be on the origin story of our future world changers, and they take that seriously. And I'm proud to be a small part of that, even though we're in a pandemic. It just blows my mind. But you guys are amazing. My God, hats off. I don't even have a hat. I'm using Todd's hat. Man.
We surround ourselves with like-minded people who believe in tomorrow and believe in leadership. Man, when you do that, doors just fly open.
Right on, man.
Dr. Tovar, come on, man. Something I know what you're proud of. I see it on Twitter every day.
Oh my God, yeah. This guy celebrates everybody. He's amazing.
You need therapy for Twitter, man. You're all over that. When do you sleep?
I don't know, but my thumbs are hurting. But you know what? Let me tell you one thing. it's crucial that I add the kudos to everybody on this platform right now and everyone seeing us, because we could only get stronger together. But I would like to accentuate one thing about Memorial Pathway Academy Familia. It's very important that you understand that we're such a small school that when two people are out, it really affects us. And so we've been able to unite. I'm not, trust me, I've been at a 2,500 school, and it's more challenging at a small school when you don't have people to cover those classes. And so I've been teaching classes for at least 2 months already, and it's been a joy. I miss teaching, but what I'm here to accentuate is, you know what? Anytime there's something placed before any team member, anytime they step up, I've had clerks present PD on brain research. Every PD session that we have is led by our team members, and we do rotating like if it was in a conference. And I just said, hey, can you do this? Yes, you do that. Because you know what? I role model the expectations, and they see that we all, as long as the chair does it and everyone else does it, they're happy to do it. And so I'm very proud of a caring and loving family that I work with every day, that not only steps up with caring for those children that we deal with, but also are looking to improve the academics in this slippery time that we live in. So I'm very proud of my familia.
Chris?
Yeah, much like Todd, I'm homegrown here in Dudley. Dean resides in Dudley as well, and we're a brother middle school system in a regional district. But my kids go through the Dudley Charlton school system, and I've got two kids, one in 5th and one in 8th in my building. When I came to Dudley, my oldest daughter was in 8th grade. I've coached all of these kids. I go to church with all these kids and their families, and much like you, Todd, it's that investment in the local community and the knowledge of the local community that I am very proud of and honored to serve in the capacity that I serve in. But one of the most important things about Dudley Middle School is there are 2 words on the wall of the front building, and they're right outside the principal's office above the windows. It's students first. And they're up there, and it is not my doing, but it is a legacy of the former leaders and the educators in the building and the district that students are first. Their needs come first, whatever it is. If we have a family that's going through dire straits financially, my staff is going to pull together. They're going to go ahead and do a collection, or they're going to reach out to local benefactors in the community and get the gift cards to the local food store. They're going to go out. They're going to buy the kiddo the snacks that they need in the middle of the day and put them in a surprise spot in their locker when they come in the following morning. Those types of things go on routinely and regularly. And I'm just so proud and honored of the faculty and staff at Dudley Middle School, because they really do believe in those 2 words, and they do selflessly address those needs. And it's just quite awesome to notice. As a parent, when I was a principal in a neighboring district, when this job was opening up, and I talked to Dean at the fire with the, I think it was the blueberry ale that we had that night. We talked about, me coming home, and I really did. While I live in town, I really did come home to this fantastic school and situation.
I think I played a vital part in that, Chris, and I do remember that fireside chat. And I'm going to shift gears to the other side of our district and just say, from Charlton Middle School, I'm proud of a sense of belonging. And, I've got 85 staff members, 643 kids, a learning community that is just truly vested. And I just want to share just a quick story. Every day I'm outside in the morning for drop off. We had an individual, young child, didn't want to get out of the car and just struggled getting out of the car. Riddled, with some anxiety. He didn't want to leave the mom. One of my teachers went up to the car and stood there for 20 minutes just talking and just helping that child understand the importance of coming to school. But now the story gets better. Think about it for a second. Okay. She finally gets the girl to come in, and they create a bond. The bond was predicated on, for the next 3 days, having a hot chocolate ready for her when she got out of the car. What teacher goes beyond the classroom to do that? Not only that, but then had the girl come up to her class in the morning to make her feel comfortable. That is the epitome of relationships and why we do what we do. As a building principal, I just stood there and smiled, and I see that person drive by every day, and I said, unbelievable. That's not going to be represented on a report card. That is what people do. That's what great educators do. You talk about teachers covering classes. I got people covering every single day. Do they make a couple extra dollars? Of course they do, but they got each other's back. And when we're talking to kids when they screw up, we know what we say? That's not who we are. Okay, that's not what we're all about. And you know what they do? They cry, the tears, they feel it, they become part of it, and then the whole learning community becomes stronger. Man, that's leadership. That's bigger than anything else. You can take standardized scores, throw them out the window. Kids coming to school every day, loving coming in and loving the people around them. That is a successful school. Boom, drop the mic right there. Listen, in the red zone right here, this is why I have a question for all of you. Any new principal, any new leader out there under 3 years, what would you say to them? Now we're in the middle of this. We're in the middle of our school year right now. What would you tell them from your lens as we kind of go in this 2-minute drill? Okay, let's start off with Josh Tovar. What would you tell that new leader?
Just hold on tight and be inspiring for those around you, because everyone is always looking at you. It doesn't matter in the cafeteria, at receiving, at the end of the day. We chose leadership, like Principal Cafele says. We chose to be in that chair, and people will always be looking at us. So go to the gym. Wake up early, walk 10,000 steps, eat right, kiss your family when you get home. But when you're back because we chose leadership. I apologize, and that might sound crass to some people, but you know what? People always look. As a historian, I always look at great leaders, and during the hardest times, they're the coolest, most in control, and provide comfort for everybody that they lead. And when you chose leadership, remember that. These are trying times. We're trying to catch that fish, right, Martin? We're trying to catch that fish, and it's not easy. It's okay. We're all doing it. In Hawaii, in Alaska, in New York, in Florida, in Puerto Rico, we're all trying to catch that same darn fish. It's okay. Hang out with people like this that are right here, and you got it. Because you know what? You're going to be bouncing off the great ideas, and you're going to say, I'm okay.
Sean, advice.
Get out of the office. As often as you can, and be where the action is. Keep kids at the center of your heart. Pace yourself. Big ditto to Josh's advice, but get out of the office. Be where the action is. Let folks see you getting your hands dirty and your shoes dirty, and getting your pins blowing up in your dress shirt or whatever, and get in those classrooms. Get in the cafeterias, get in the playground, get in the gym, get where the action is, so folks know you're there, you're visible, and that you care.
Martin.
My advice would be find your people. You're going to be the only one of you in your building, and so you need to find your people. In these 6 squares right here, you need to find your people who are going to be your people in your 6 squares right here. That's number one for sure. There's also going to be tornadoes that go all around you, and your job is to keep your feet on the ground, because if you get caught up in that tornado, there's nobody's feet on the ground, and somebody's got to be the one to do that. And the other thing I think I would tell them is to love the one you're with. Wherever you are, love where you are right now. Don't appear to be looking for your next gig. Be present where you are, and learn to just love everything about it.
Todd.
One of our norms of our leadership is be present in the Churchill experience. And we've all kind of alluded to it. When you're at Churchill and you're in the cafeteria, then you should be actively modeling what you want teachers to do when they engage kids, and see how you engage kids and talk to kids. When you're in hallway duty, put yourself in the toughest spot. If the most kids don't go to class and are outside the courtyard, then be there. And then when you walk down the halls and you have the goal of trying to visit every teacher every day, greet each teacher by name, have a conversation with them, ask how you're doing, ask what you can do to help. And then the other advice would be is you're at the band concert, be present in the moment. We could be checking emails or on social media, but we're there to watch the band concert, cheer. And then at the very end, you hang around and you celebrate with the kids how awesome the band concert was. And you tell the parents how talented the kids are and how much you enjoyed being there. And then lastly, if you have a family, bring your family around at these events. Bring your wife and your kids, and let the kids see that. And let them see that this is my wife and these are my kids. Boy, they want to be Churchill cheerleaders or in the band, or they want to be here one day, and let them really look up to that and build that. And so be present in the moment. And, as Marty said, like when you're there, like this is your dream job, and like just make sure everybody knows that. And when people know that, I found that it kind of squashes some negativity, because if you're always positive and you're always talking about things that are great on your campus, people aren't going to come up with you and try to unload their problem and give it to you, because you're constantly talking about the stuff that you see that's great. And I think that's, I learned that through experience. And I wish somebody would have told me that in my first year. Be present in the moment.
Thanks for sharing that out, Todd. There are 4 things that quickly came to my mind while I'm listening to everybody else. First and foremost, stay calm. Be calm. Stay calm. Okay? Don't overreact. Be real. And remember, kids are kids. They're going to make mistakes. Kids will look at you and see you as the master of their world. And you can sell anything you want to them. So sell them on being just good and enjoying the moment. Because if you do that, other things will take care, man. And you're right. You're spot on with all those things. Just be in the moment and enjoy it as best you can. Chris?
Yeah, visibility, absolutely essential. Being in touch with the pulse of the organization, the school, the family, understanding that dynamic, all very important. I think one of the most important things that we do beyond the modeling of the expectations is hiring, and keeping in mind that IQ can take you very far, but EQ can take you to exceptional heights. So when you're looking for educators to come on board and into your team, you have to have a really clearly defined set of principles and values that you believe are what's going to move your organization forward. And by organization, I mean a family unit. You get new kids every single year, but you want teachers to be able to rub off on one another in very positive ways. And no matter what adversity faces you, you build that right team of people who are smarter than you, stronger than you, and you just help them stay the course. You're going to be in really, really good shape as a young leader. Focus on that EQ.
Josh Tova, bring us home, man, because I always love the way that you exit a room. All right. I just want you just to wrap this up and just, this has been great. We had an opportunity to meet some new faces, get some new perspective, but more importantly, just dig a little deeper into things that we probably thought we already knew. So, Josh, take us home.
Look, everybody out there, we're all living together through this storm. And the only thing that we could do is remember and look at our kids' eyes. Those students that come to us might have it way worse than us, but they don't have a way out of the tunnel. We are the beacon of light. We are the spirit that brings them closer to a better future. It is us, our vision, our team members' vision, that will be that beautiful lineless blanket that provide them comfort for the rest of their lives. Because you know what? As we've discussed, this pandemic has truly thrown them off loop, and some of them have never known what a reality is. And with our vision, with people working together in these 6 square boxes, our future of our country, our gorgeous, beautiful country, can only get better. Because you know what? We're learning from each other, and that's what we tell our students to do. Learn from each other. Learn from the good, learn from the bad. But ultimately, as educators, we have the best job out of everything. We are the profession that creates all the other professions. We love you, we care about you, and we hope to see you next Thursday right here on the Red Zone.
I do love that. And don't forget about Sunday night. We have Barbara and Rita coming on, 2 powerful, influential women in the field of education. I can't wait for that conversation. They are great followers of Unlock the Middle. More importantly, they chime in, and they are just wonderful people. So we're looking forward to that as well. So, hey, that's about all we have. Chris, any final words?
No, sir. Gentlemen, it was fantastic to meet you, Mart and Sean and Todd, Josh and Dean, as always. We had a blast this evening. I hope you enjoyed the banter back and forth, and understand that we just built a hell of a PLN amongst us and some of those in the audience. Hey, everybody, reach on out, keep on chugging, and be cool. We are heading out, gentlemen.
Stay on board, guys. Have a great week.
Thank you.